Hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Ironclad run. This is a very special Berserk episode. A card that is normally, I would say, unpickable. Getting some special treatment in this run, so stay tuned. Having a look. Pretty ugly looking act here. The left side looks pretty spooky, and the right side, there's an elite before the campfire, and then only 2 elites maximum afterwards. So I might take the campfire and then just take 1 elite this act, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, just one of those acts where you have to prioritize not dying over being greedy and going for as much power as possible, because it's just too unlikely to work out killing the elites, I think. And so I can lose some max health for a rare, and Berserk was there actually, but of course floor 0 Berserk is not happening here. Don't worry, we'll get them later. Let's take a Fiend Fire instead, of course. Getting rid of Bash and a Strike is a bit of a bummer here, but killing that guy seems pretty good. Rough draw there, had 2 defense in the draw pile, but true triple strike. Bit of a slime incident here. It's all good though. And mediocre first pick here. Really don't want this Perfected Strike. We have the Fiend Fire for kind of like a boost in damage. I take the armaments as like better than skipping probably. Tough one there. And I kill the one with more health. Seems good. That was a good lace fight. Get me out of here. And again, no real damage here, which we're definitely looking for that early damage to try to kill that first elite before the campfire, instead of taking the campfire and only 1 elite. But we're not being offered damage cards here. So Power Through is a good block card. Burning Pact a little bit early. And I was really considering the Burning Pact, because with Fiend Fire and Burning Pact, going infinite is pretty possible, but we don't have the cards that actually enable the infinite, like Dropkick or whatever. So that's a bit ambitious thinking on floor 2. So I take the good block card, and then of course Power Through plus Fiend Fire actually adds cards into your hand, which you can exhaust with the Fiend Fire for more damage, which is pretty good. And we're offered a floor 3 Bludgeon. So not only is this a Berserk run, it's also a Bludge run. Very exciting. And that is some damage. I may actually be able to take this elite now. Pretty cool. And unfortunately they're both buffing here. That's not what you want to see, because that means you're pretty much guaranteed to get hit for 16. Hate to see that. But we did manage to do the Power Through thing, and that was very good. So actually at full health. And 3 pickable cards. I actually take the Burning Pact this time around, now that we have a little bit more power. This Bludgeon. And we get the Living Wall events. Remove or transform or upgrade. I actually choose to upgrade because we have this Bludgeon, which is a massive upgrade, and we actually can now take this early elite. So I do in fact take it. And I kill the left one there to set up for next turn. Getting rid of the fact that you're taking 20 every other turn is a bigger deal than killing the middle one there to block, I would say. Because the draws are so awkward once you have your first reshuffle and you have all those dazes in there. Good. And hoping to draw Strike, and then Bludgeon next turn would be great. I believe I bottom deck it. Nope, actually worked out very well. So that was a great fight. And Peace Pipe is here, and a second Fiend Fire. So that's a lot of rares this early on. And so Peace Pipe now allows us to, instead of upgrading at or resting at campfires, we can now remove a card. Unfortunately, upgrading is usually better in the early part of the game, but eventually the ability to remove might be very good. And I get it removed there as well. And we find a letter opener from the chest there. Every time we play 3 skills in 1 turn, we'll deal 5 damage to all enemies. Tends to be a bit mediocre on Ironclad unless you're doing like Corruption Dead Branch or something like that. It's a bit tough to play that many skills. I mean, that's not necessarily true. Corruption Dark Embrace makes it good, but if we don't have that, then it's mediocre. And Shrug is some good solid block that draws a card. Good with letter opener as well, potentially. There's also a Twin Strike. And Warcry without being upgraded is pretty mediocre. Even if you have the exhaust energy, it tends to be a bit mid. So Shake the Shrug, definitely the best card there, I would say. And we'd be upgrading these Fiend Fires, make sure we can actually kill stuff with them. We have Hexaghost coming up. And here's our store. More rares here. Exhume and Corruption are both here. But there's also Pellets. Corruption's a bit early. Exhume would actually be pretty good here with Fiend Fire. Really quite good, actually. But I decided to take Speculative Pellets. I don't know why. I just felt it in my bones that this was the Berserk run. And I mean, it probably is the best thing long term, and I feel like I get away with it, which is the thing. So of course now, if we play an attack, skill, and power all in the same turn, we will cleanse all of our debuffs. It's really good going forward. Lots of fights apply some nasty debuffs to you, and being able to get rid of them is huge. And additionally, some cards in the game apply a debuff to yourself, such as Berserk, applying vulnerable to you. And so if we can play the Berserk along with a skill and a attack, we can get rid of the vulnerable, making it essentially just 0 cost. For the rest of the fight, you have 1 additional energy a turn, which is pretty good. It's not amazing still, but it's at least like a playable card. And we have no area of effect damage yet. We have all blast one guy, fuck you in particular kind of cards. So I take the Whirlwind and upgrade it for next act. We have some slavers to deal with. And like birds and cultists and all of that. And awkward turn 2 here. It's hitting for 6x6 because we had 60 or more current health. And of course, the first attack from Hexaghost does 1x6 plus an additional 1x6 per 12 current health that you have. And also we found a magic flower, forgot to say that, from the Gremlin Knob, but that's quite good. And here's our Berserk. I'll talk about magic flower in a moment. It's actually very worth noting. So Berserk is here, and it's against Exhume, which also yet again would have been good, but I took the pellets already, right? So we're definitely taking the Berserk, commit to the bit. And Pyramid is here, so now we will no longer discard our hand. That's great. Fiend Fire especially is becoming insane now, as we can have a whole full hand of 9 extra cards. We can just Fiend Fire for 90 damage. That's pretty insane. And Magic Flower says, healing you receive while in combats is increased by 50%. So that includes Burning Blood, giving you 9 health instead of 6 now. This Fairy in a Bottle also will trigger in combat and give us 45% of our current health instead of 30, which is quite good. And if we find like some sort of like a Reaper or a Feed, those healing increase as well. So that's very cool. Magic Flower is a rare Ironclad relic, I believe. Very strong. It actually doesn't kill. It's hitting for 90 and it has 95 health, so I can block for 1 more Fiend Fire for 80 instead, and then kill it next turn. So that was a good fight. And we do now have a Pyramid, so we have the option to take an Anger. It's a nice 0 cost attack to make sure we can reliably proc the pellets, and it's just good anyway with Pyramid. It's also upgraded. And if we don't want the Anger in that particular fight, we can just Fiend Fire it away or Burning Pack it away, and that seems pretty good. Kept the Anger just in case I want to Fiend Fire for a lot. And now I can just pass here and Fiend Fire next turn and it's dead. So the Fiend Fire is absolutely cooking, of course. Kind of stealing the show right now. And found a feed from a random hallway fight there. That's really good. Find a library as well. Second Wind is here, and I should have considered that more, I think. It's not amazing yet, but we do have a power through, and I really didn't think about it. If I already had the like Feel No Pain Dark Embrace stuff going on, I probably would have taken the Second Wind already. But there is also a Disarm here. And there's also a Shockwave here. Shockwave's quite good. I do take the Shockwave after all. We are against Champ, so I just want to make sure I'm applying the Weaken and whatnot, the Vulnerable reliably. We find a Nilry's Codex. That says that at the end of each of our turns, we can choose 1 of 3 cards to put into our deck for the rest of combat. And of course, in typical castle fashion, you will be seeing me accidentally right-clicking on the cards as they appear, because I love to right-click the screen in between turns. Immediately. And Gremlin Leader is here. It's a bit spooky, but hopefully with this Shockwave plus Fiendfire combo, we can just kind of one-shot it here. So it'll be 15 times 9 damage, which is 135 damage. So play the Whirlwind here, kill everything, and then next turn, Fiendfire kills the Gremlin Leader. So not too bad that we had to get attacked there because of a bad turn 1. And Battle Trance is here. Now, I want to mention right now, I was not considering the pellets as much as I should have been, and there's some very important key interactions that you should be looking out for with pellets. So Battle Trance gives you a debuff as well. That says you can no longer draw cards this turn. You can also cleanse that debuff with the pellets, so that's very cool. It's not as important as it normally would be in this deck because we have Pyramid, but it's still... You have to remember that it's going to happen, because otherwise you might think that you're not drawing cards when you are. And that's very bad. Oh, I made a huge blunder right here, by the way. This is... Avert your eyes for this one. So, I see that I have Armaments on strike, and combined with a Bludgeon Plus, that'd be exact lethal on the right one. So I take Bludgeon from the attack pot, but then the one that I got from the attack pot isn't upgraded. Woof. So I actually shouldn't have even used that, I think, on the right one anymore. I should have hit it the left one instead, and then next turn Bludgeon for 42, because I wasn't being weakened by the left one, so I could have done exactly 42 next turn. See, that was very stupid, but I didn't have a clean way to kill the right one anyway, regardless. It's just that it just looked so bad. It looked so bad. Apologies for your eyes. Hopefully Whirlwind and the Bloodletting Strike feed is lethal. That'd be great. Yep. So it wasn't too bad after all. We found a Strawberry for 7 max health as well. And now we found a Gremlin Horn. Every time an enemy dies, we gain 1 energy and draw a card. That's an excellent relic in Act 2, and in some Act 3 fights as well. Plenty of multi-enemy fights and minion fights, like Gremlin Leader especially. And here we are in one right now, by the way. And we also found Ollie Smooth Stone for 1 dexterity, of course. That's always welcome. Very solid, making your defense better. I think that's the last time I do that. Eventually I stop doing it every time. And here we are again, hoping to kill Gremlin Leader next turn, so I can make sure to draw some cards here with Battle Trance, see if I hit the Shockwave. I do hit the Shockwave, so now I can just Shockwave and play the Whirlwind, and it's dead next turn. So this fight went well. Had to use Feed to kill the Gremlins, but Fiendfire would have gotten rid of the Feed anyway, which is a pretty awkward synergy, but even the possibility of feeding is good enough to put it in your deck. And our second copy of Berserk is here. That's very exciting. Does the Madman click it? Yes, of course I do. Committing fully to the bid here. And got a Whetstone to upgrade 2 random skills. Bash is a decent hit. I mean attacks. I meant to say attacks, not skills. False information spreader. Fake news. Cancelled. So here I could full block, but that's a bit slow. It turns out these cultists are still going to be around next turn if I do that. So I decide to play the Whirlwind for 3. That way I can set up to kill him. Seems pretty important. And then I can go Strike Strike on one of them and then Fiendfire the other to get out. So this fight went pretty well. I had to take 12, but it happens. Absolute trash there. Moving on. Slavers are back. Book of Stabbing is on vacation today. Can't play Berserk here because we can't get out of the vulnerable. Whirlwind's not quite enough. Would love to have a real Bloodletting here. It still wouldn't be enough, actually. Yes, it would. It would be 60. They're vulnerable after all. And we still can't get out of Berserk, by the way. That's a bit of a shame because of the no skill in our hand. So I do just Fiendfire the right one, of course, and kill the middle one here. The wounds in our deck can be very awkward with Pyramid, so we want to kill the one that makes the wounds. That way we don't have to deal with that as much. So Berserk is not getting played so much yet, but we're cooking, we're cooking. Fiendfire is kind of taking precedent here. Wound, draw another wound, and the Nilries is kindly adding some good cards to our deck that we can possibly draw into, reducing the proportion of wounds is good. So we have actual cards. Found a Fiendfire, and Maulbank is here, which will give us 12 gold every time we click on a new floor until we spend gold at a shop. A solid relic if you can actually juice it for enough gold. And we're quite low here going into Snake Plant, which is very spooky. So I am likely going to use this Fairy in a Bottle against Champ's Execute turn, but that's a totally fine usage of it. Champ is pretty scary here. We're not really scaling our damage, really, and we don't have a way to retain block. So we're going to have to just raw dog this Champ. And sadly just short of killing with the feed here. But it is still worth going for. I can live with the defend and then just feed next turn, which will heal us for 5 because of the magic flower. And then up to 17. And Armaments Plus is here. We already have one Armaments non-upgraded, but Armaments Plus is a lot better with the whole your hand is full because of Runic Pyramid thing. It's still not quite worth it though. The Berserk upgrade doesn't really matter with pellets. It just makes you have one less vulnerable. So I'm gonna skip that. Probably just a bit of a in the way sort of card at this point. And I choose to lose gold. We could have gotten rid of Berserk there, but no thank you, Ranwid. We would rather keep our Berserk, thank you. And Ranwid gives us a blue candle. We may now choose to play curses from our hand. They will exhaust, and we'll take 1 damage. Actually, we'll lose 1 life, more accurately. Block does not work. I get to put the Berserk in play, very exciting. And full block as well. And we cleanse the Battle Trance as well, that was cute. So Juggernaut is an option just for some more scaling question mark damage against the Champ. We got double Berserk in play, 5 energy a turn, it's so beautiful. And Champ applies a lot of debuffs, so we took this Metallicize just to have another power in the deck for the pellets as well. It's not just the Berserk debuff we're trying to cleanse, it's any debuff at all. And the more powers you have, the more likely you are to be able to do that, of course. Now we found a Limit Break, so actually scaling a bit here. Inflame from Nilries into Limit Break from Nilries is very funny. They are vulnerable again. I could have cleansed the vulnerable. I don't think I noticed. Just played the Juggernaut instead of the whatever card I just played. And I'm probably just going to send it here. Sadly, no Dark Embrace, otherwise we draw an entire new hand here, which would have been great. Should play Anger, maybe. So we blast him. That's a bad turn. Found the Bludgeon. That's very nice. And Shockwave's good to apply some weaken to this Champ. And now we're still vulnerable, which is pretty awkward because we're taking the Execute. But just gotta block for a little bit here, and then we can tank the second hit with the Fairy. Up to 38 because of Magic Flower, and we're good to go. So made it through Champ on the back of the Fairy in a Bottle, of course. Very happy to use that there. Maybe could have gotten around using it by playing more carefully, but I was happy to just move on and lose the Fairy there. Seems like a great use of it. And Pandas is here. Pandora's Box could have more Berserk in it. Other relics aren't amazing. And in fact, there is a 3rd Berserk in here. So very happy about that. There's also Bloodletting. And Inflame, we're happy to have a little bit of strength. Any strength is welcome here. There's a 4 elite path down the right side. Seems a bit ambitious, but might be possible. There's also a double shop going up to the 1st elite there. And we do have a Maw Bank, so trying to spend our gold soon, probably. Gonna be up to about 300-ish when we get there, which should be enough to comfortably spend at the shop. I wanted to play Berserk there, so I took a little bit of damage from playing Sword Boomerang, which hit Spiker. I was hoping it didn't hit the Spiker, but that was unlikely. And I know that this Bludgeon will comfortably kill this Spiker, so I'm trying to block first and then play it, and found it. Now we can chill. The triple Berserk is a lot of Berserk. Certainly the most number of Berserk I've ever had in my deck at once, and I've certainly never won with 3 Berserk before. All kinds of new things happening in my latest adventures of playing this game. But right now I'm trying to draw into armaments again, I think. Or maybe I forget about armaments and use it on something else instead. So there's armaments, which I would love to play on the feed, but the problem is that I might not do enough damage with the Sword Boomerang. And actually that is true. No, it's not true. It would have been low enough health. But it was unlikely for it to all hit the right guy, right? So I wanted to upgrade the Sword Boomerang to make sure I can actually do enough damage to get them into feed range. And it's only like 1 health. It's okay. It'll be fine. We got to feed. Body Slam Plus was there, but we're not blocking that much. I do decide to go left instead of right. And I am interested in taking 4 elites, it seems. Certainly not taking Red Mask there, that would be insane. And we get another shop, which is actually pretty bad because we're about to go to 2 more shops, so that's like so much shop. But there is Ori here, and it might have Dark Embrace and a Feel No Pain in it, and it actually has both, which is absolutely insane. So this Ori is goated, as the kids would say, goated with the sauce, in fact. And I wasn't thinking about it, but Flex is amazing with orange pellets because you will apply the debuff to yourself that says at the end of your turn lose 4 strength whenever you play Flex, which you can then cleanse before your turn ends with orange pellets, and it is a permanent 0 energy gain 4 strength, which is great. I do take the Flex because I thought it was good enough anyway, which is lucky. But I can promise I was not considering the synergy with pellets at the time. I realized it later though. And I know how this works. I've mentioned it in past videos, and I've done this before, but like sometimes you're just not registering. Considering taking Pommel Strike over it, it's disgusting. Hideous. I took it anyway. So that's good. And I'm certainly saving my money here. There could be goodies at the next shop. So now we have Feel No Pain and Dark Embrace, and we have 2 Fiend Fires in our deck, and like a lot of energy with Berserks. So we're actually feeling pretty good now. We weren't really able to block before, but now we should be able to get there. And get me out of this fight, surely. Can go Uppercut Fiend Fire for exact lethal, that's pretty good. Trying to stay healthy. And Reaper from... So that's like another... keeps happening where we keep getting rares like very early in the act from just a hallway fight, which is very exciting. A Fiend Fire or a Medkit would have been great here, but take a second Dark Embrace instead. So now we are fully embracing darkness here, very happy about that. Boy, chime in. Like emo stuff, am I right, guys? Getting hit for 43 is not good. Hopefully can Reaper it back. And by the way, Reaper extra good with the Magic Flower, of course. 50% more healing from the Reaper. So definitely looking for some more strength here. And I'm probably going to forget about Flex multiple times. So keep your eye out for that. I'll try to point it out. But at this point in the run, I was not remembering that synergy existed, which is embarrassing, to be frank. Should have played the second Berserk, by the way, before playing the attack to get rid of the debuffs. I forgot about it. That's a mistake as well. Didn't even see it in my hand, to be honest. I am full blocking with the curse here. Berserk. Reaper draws Flex. That's unfortunate. Maybe should have just waited for the flex. Perhaps. And I'm trying to see, like, can I wait for feed or do I just rip it? And is ripping it even good? It does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 25, 150, down to 5. And then I draw anger. So, yeah, just get out. That's fine. Totally fine. And meal ticket is here, which will heal us for 15 whenever we enter a shop. Kind of mediocre here. We don't really need more healing. But that's fine. And we do have to go to this shop, which is a waste, but that's fine. We do heal for 15 now. Totally fine. It's basically just like a mini rest there. And this is tough. Repto here is a little bit brutal. Probably gonna exhaust the disarm. Who needs that? And upgrade Reaper for next turn. So hoping to go Bloodletting Shockwave Reaper next turn with perhaps a bit of strength. Would be nice. And unfortunately we drew trash. So I may choose to pass because Reaper isn't killing anything here. So I'm probably just gonna pass and Reaper all my health back next turn. More Berserk. Unfortunately, this energy does not retain. Very sad. And there's Flex. Whoosh. Back to full health. And we did manage to do the Flex thing. I promise you I was not thinking about it, but we did it anyway. And that's a lot of damage. Goodbye. So we're at full health, even after that abysmal turn 2, because of how strong it was. I should be taking this flex. I probably I skipped this one because I wasn't thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, double flex is a little bit too iffy, but that's a huge mistake. It's painful. It's painful. I was only thinking about pellets as like a remove actual debuffs and berserk thing, but the flex synergy is huge, and I am very sad about the fact that I whiffed on it. I figured it out eventually, though. Second flex still isn't that insane, but... And now that we have Dark Embrace Field of Pain, we would love to have a real second one in the deck, so we're going to be clicking it every time we see it from Nilry's, of course. Quite good. Had to play the Sword Boomerang there to cleanse the debuff. Could have flexed. See, this is what I'm talking about. Could have flexed and played uppercut, and then that would have got me permanent strength. Although I am trying to keep the uppercut, perhaps, for when it's tangible. Again, trying to get into feed range here, and trying to reap probably. A little Reaper. We're already basically full health anyway, so gonna have to wait a full turn here. But Impervious will full block for us. That's fine. Double Impervious. Wow. Did I have Armaments in my hand? If I did, that was a mistake. Don't think so, though. Speed pot sucks. Move on. Actually, it's not as bad as normal because we have pellets, so it would cleanse the -5 thing, but we're mostly blocking with Field of Pain and our face at this point. Select a card to upgrade. Inflame? Yeah. We need strength for Reaper. There's gonna be a moment where it clicks. Where we can see in my movement. Okay, I think I figured it out. But then I forgot to play Berserk again. This is the guy we're watching? What's going on here? So I can go Bloodletting, which puts Bludgeon Blood at 1, and then Bludgeon as well. That's quite a good turn. Okay, so now I think I'm getting it sorted out finally. And by the way, this run is way out of my comfort zone, which is part of the reason the misplays are so frequent. I don't ever click on Berserk. Ever, ever, ever. But here we are. If you are a regular me enjoyer, you'll know that I tend to call Berserk unpickable trash. Limit Break is 7 strength right there. That's really good. That's 3.5 turns of Demon Form for 1 energy. Wow. Hey, it's Fiend Fire. I'm probably just gonna play that. Should probably Reaper first. Nope. Should probably Reaper first. I think it was super dead. Second Reaper's here. That's pretty good. This fight is very awkward. Spiker is here, which will do damage to us when we hit it. And Spheric Guardian is blocking our Reaper damage and only actually has 20 health, so we can't really heal that much from it, in theory. Flex is here. Probably just gonna Reaper again. Can I damage the... I could have damaged the Spheric Guardian low enough, I think. Yep. All kinds of itty-bitty misplays happening here that are adding up to look pretty horrible. Also, I mean, this turn was just awkward. Wasn't quite getting there on killing the Exploder with the Reaper, so that's a bit of a shame. We have so much sustain with this Magic Flower. And of course, when you're taking triple Berserk, you know, you need a little bit of help. I don't give myself too much flack. Ooh, that's a good feed. Unfortunately, that Sword Boomerang kills, but I think with Letter Opener, we get there. I could have played Burning Pact instead of Bloodletting. That's fine then. Got a recall, of course. And we are against Woke Bird, gaining strength whenever we play power. And we have triple Berserk, so that's not exactly ideal. Could be better, that's for sure. Had to play the Whirlwind there, or some attack in order to get out. And I found Exhume, which is huge, because we're going to be playing Reapers here to stay alive. So, Exhuming the Reaper is going to be absolutely massive. Doesn't even matter if we waste them, because we can find the Exhume later. There's Flex. Play skill. Okay. I wasted the... Oh, wait. I have to kill this. Actually makes sense. I should play a skill here, because of the pellets, which I don't know if I realize. Wait, what? I need to play a power? I need to play a power. I guess. I can't keep track. Oh, we kept the strength. I must have procced it with the skill. I see. Flex was the skill. I think. God. This game is confusing. And Disarm's great against Woke Bird. Getting rid of that extra strength. Can even get a disarm back. So who needs more Reaper when instead you can take more disarm? Very cool. And we have a lot of energy. I forgot to play Berserk again before cleansing with pellets. Probably wrong to play it anyway, to be honest. We already have 2 of them in play, so why give the Woke Bird 2 more strength? I think I was just like, oh yeah, I didn't even consider this, but then I was wrong anyway, so it's fine. And I'm considering what do I want in my draw pile after I Fiend Fire here. So get rid of all these powers, I don't need those anymore. And then just kill it with the rest of our deck. Nori's is nice to kind of fill in any gaps we have by exhausting awkward cards with Fiendfire that we would have liked to keep instead. Nilari's always low-key, kind of the MVP of a run. It's like doing its thing all the time. Get a Reaper back now because of healing purposes for the next fight. Have 11 strength and magic flower, so it's going to be quite a lot. Just making sure I block as much as I can. And we're trying to feed as well. More anger is good. So the anger pick is actually working out here in the late game, which is very, very cool, I think. Most people would kind of think of it as an early game card, but sometimes having that cheap, reliable, repeating zero-cost attack when you're scaling strength is actually very powerful. So we're happy to see the anger around here still. And what am I doing here? Nothing. Okay, good. I was considering Happy Flower, I think, but no need for that. Just get out. So full health, and got to feed against Twokebird. So we're getting it together here. That was played pretty well, I would say. And I play Whirlwind for 0 just to cleanse the debuffs. I should have considered keeping the Metallicize around for next turn, but we have so many powers, it's probably not a problem. Need to play an attack, get rid of the vulnerable, and having the cleanse against Time Eater is huge. It has the draw minus thing and the turn where it vulnerables you and frails you. Definitely love to see that. Exhume keeps getting offered by Nori's, which is absolutely cracked. This Nori's is cooking right now. We already have one Dark Embrace in play, so I can just rip it. Those aren't very good. So we have 2 anger in there. I may just be able to get there if I bludgeon Fiendfire. Yeah, get me out of this one. And I can draw into the second anger and we win. So it's over. Goodbye, Time Eater. So another good fight. Didn't get to feed there, but that's fine. Just get me out of there. To-thump, deep pulsing dread, on to Act 4. So 97 max health. We found this feed pretty early, like beginning of Act 2. But the way this run was going, we just kind of, if feeding was very awkward, even with a Runic Pyramid, just because Fiendfire was doing its thing. So a bit of anti-synergy there, but even so, we comfortably got here pretty much, and still it gave us something like 30 max health, which very happy about that. And Exhume is on sale for realsies in the shop here, very happy about that. Third copy of Reaper, or Fiendfire, or whatever. Play Flex. Now I realize it. See, at some point earlier, I realized it, and then now I'm like, oh my god, I didn't play Flex. It's fine though, can do it this turn. It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember. It really is. Ooh, threw the Impervious a bit too late there. Very sad. It's alright though, we have Reaper. Certainly gonna Reaper first, and then, oh, nope. I have Exhume in my deck, so I'm planning on drawing it. I should have played Reaper though. Surely. So Bloodletting Plus, which I upgraded, is gonna be huge. Very happy about the extra energy here. Put everything in play before Berserks are in play. And yeah, back up to 71 is quite good here. But yeah, it's... I'm not sure if I should have Reapered before Fiendfire or not, to be honest. Tough to say. Would have done a bit more damage, but you know, the main reason the Reaper did so much damage in the second part was because we drew it in flame as well. And we still got 2 damage from the left one anyway. But the problem is that we exhausted the first Reaper. But I also wanted to make sure I had energy for everything afterwards. It was a whole thing. Game is hard. I even got to feed, so 86 current health going into the heart here. I've always now forgotten to mention the last like 4 relics. I'll make sure to include those in the video. But Happy Flower is quite good, Bag of Prep is really good, and Wipey Statue is absolutely worthless until they add Act 5 to the game. Poor Wipey Statue, never stood a chance. So we're going here. Need to make sure to play an attack here in order to get rid of all the debuffs. This is the juiciest fight for pellets. The ability to cleanse the vulnerable and frail and weaken on turn 2 of the heart is absolutely massive. Only 1 times 15. Pathetic. So we're taking a lot of damage to ourselves here, but we're hoping that once everything's in play, we can kill it really fast and Reaper will save us. I even Whirlwind to get out of my hand, so I draw another card next turn. No fear at all. And Thorn's Paw is going to be great here, of course. So Feel No Pain is still in there, which is a bit of a bummer. Healing with Reaper a bit. Nope, just do some damage. Double Tap is here. That's going to be pretty good with this Reaper, I think. And we have so much energy. That was 7 energy right there, guys. Happy Flower and 3 Berserk. It's beautiful. And there's Disarm, so that's going to be really good here. Disarm, of course, a good card in some fights, mediocre in others, but you mainly take it because when you get here, my god, does it block for a lot. Very Piercing Whale-esque. So I even just pass here. I'm good taking this 15 or 11 or whatever it was. And then just block for a bit more. And there's a double tap, which is good. Get back a Reaper. Double tap the Reaper. And now we just have to Fiend Fire. Do the full 200. And then kill it somehow afterwards. It's going to be a bit close here. We're not super duper blocking here, but it is weakened notably, and so we'll definitely survive this next turn. And then after that, we should just be able to win. So I'm thinking a bit for a moment here, like, ooh, is this disaster? Because we can't do any more damage here. But it's actually fine. Could have considered taking Intimidate there from Nilry's. And only 3 times 15 due to the weaken. So just play Whirlwind for a lot, and we're gonna win next turn. Bludged. There we go. So we have done it. And 52 debuffs cleared to a combat on average. That's pretty good. Definitely gonna check the healing on Magic Flower as well. But yeah, very cool Berserk run. I've never won, and I had plenty of itty-bitty misplays there involving like not cleansing the debuffs that I could have. 198 healing from Magic Flower alone is quite impressive, I have to say. And then basically the same as Burning Blood, which is also, of course, goated starter relic. So yeah, very cool, very interesting run there. If you're still here, how have you not subbed? How have you not liked the video? Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.